I think you should care. DSA members keep showing up on Fox News and being incompetent and communicating. And ultimately, these are missed opportunities to attract people to our own movement. I don't think you understand. I don't think she's incompetent. I think she has a different opinion than you. But sucks to suck for you and everyone else. That opinion is one that the National Party has democratically decided on. Even if I have disagreements with some of this program, the DSA's goal is not to fucking win elections for the Democrats. What are we talking about? It's a fucking socialist organization. It's a big tent socialist organization. People need to get this shit out of their fucking heads. Okay? What are we doing? The DSA right position is yes. The DSA platform, the DSA right position is the DSA platform is appealing to the masses. It's left populist. It's great. I agree. And there's truth to that. That's the DSA right position, okay? But the Democratic Socialists of America is a far larger organization than its right-wing factions. Sure, its right-wing factions are very successful at bringing in new members. This is true. But ultimately, those new members that come in still filter through the organization, find themselves in adequate caucuses, and go through the process of political education and no longer just stay as like social democrats, for example. And then they democratically vote on the national platform. That's it. From where I'm standing, what I care about with respect to the value of the DSA has always been, first and foremost, a political organization that is capable of delivering political education, socialist political education, to an increasingly growing class-conscious group of American workers. Okay? That's what I care about. Part of that is making campaign promises, winning on those promises, and then delivering on that agenda, and then closely associating democratic socialism with good governance and electoral success. But ultimately, the goal of DSA is not to just run Democrats and win elections in the Democratic Party. DSA organizes outside of that quite a bit. Organizing around protests, organizing around, necessary community activism, working with labor unions. It's ridiculous. As long as, from my estimation, the Democratic Socialists of America are not as crazy towards the left as what is commonplace on the right, fascist reactionary politics that is totally normalized on the right, as long as we don't arrive at that position, who cares? And perhaps there's no equivalence anyway, and I don't believe there is one. Fox News don't care about the well-being of DSA. Do you see how they clip us on? Yeah. If your expectation is that everyone is going to follow the Zoran line, hook, line, and sinker, you are wrong. There are plenty of people within the Democratic Socialists of America, including the national co-chair, that are further to the left as Zoran Mamdani. If you think that they're all going to be as smooth and as charismatic as Zoran Mamdani, well, you're also wrong. Not everyone is capable of becoming a politician. Zoran is a generational talent. Zoran is also a politician. And as a politician, he restrains himself and his commentary quite a bit. If you were to watch old Zoran videos, if you've ever watched any of those fucking Zoom calls and shit like that, you would hear a very different Zoran. He would make me look like a fucking anarchist, okay? Actually, no, he was more of almost anarchist style in his tendency. That's it. He's running for office. Of course, when you're running for fucking office, you have to be fake. You have to tailor. You have to tailor your commentary around as broad, as much mass appeal as possible, including some of the more reactionary elements in American society. I don't understand why people are ashamed of the DSA platform that was democratically voted on. Especially when a lot of this stuff is not designed around winning elections. Some of you, unfortunately, I think, have experienced the process of DSA or experienced its impact as a vehicle for electioneering. It's not the case. Okay? It's not the case at all. An organization like the Democratic Socialists of America, of course, is going to have ideals that they abide by. They're a fucking socialist organization. It's like asking, well, do you agree on seizing the means of production? Well, you're a fucking socialist. What do you mean? No, really? Okay. There's a difference between revisionism and being a social democrat. Okay? DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, is a revisionist organization. They are not a social democratic organization. They are a democratic socialist organization. Some will say it's the journey, not the destination, and that opinions evolve as material conditions change, and that DSA is pushing for what they can within the current confines, within the current limitations, within the current material conditions. But ultimately, there is a difference between democratic socialism and social democracy. It is not easy for DSA to say what you're saying. We voted on a platform. We are a real political party, not a brand for corporate interests like the DNC. I mean, they could say that if they want to. Sometimes they do say that. Do you mean revisionist or reformist? Both revisionist and reformist. There is no reformism without revisionism. It's not orthodox Marxist. It's not orthodox Marxism. You're being too woke again? Wait, why? Why am I being too woke? Is there a difference between democratic socialism in practice now in America and social democracy? I think currently they're pretty much unanimous. Yes, currently they are. Bernie Sanders' platform has always been a social democratic platform. So is Zohran Mamdani's. Which is fine for the time being. But if you were to ask the ideals of an organization and what they're working towards, I think it's appropriate not to lie and say the truth. There's also a distinction between cadre candidates beyond the left-right, beyond DSA right versus DSA left. There's also obviously a distinction between paper endorsements, cadre candidates who are DSA cadres who are running for office. Zohran happens to be DSA right, but also a cadre candidate. What is DSA right versus DSA left? DSA right would be the right wing of the Democratic Socialists of America. You know how the Democratic Party has a right wing and a left wing? And if you were to say Zohran Mamdani represents the left wing of the Democratic Party and Henry Cuellar represents the right wing of the Democratic Party, the DSA has that as well. Politics is a spectrum. The Democratic Socialists of America also live and exist on that spectrum. What's cadre? Cadre means that your organizing experience is almost entirely with the specific organization. For Zohran, it's Democratic Socialists of America. I figured you would have said Fetterman was the right wing of the Dem Party. True. That's an even better example. Yes, DSA right.